Tucson. Say the name Tucson and you'll conjure up visions of the Old West, blazing sunsets, the American cowboy, and unspoiled spectacular mountain vistas with forests of cactus dating back hundreds of years. For over 70 years, filmmakers have come to this very region to capture the authentic spirit of the American West. And for nearly as long, the True family has offered guests from more than 50 countries a genuine ranch vacation like no other. Welcome to the White Stallion Ranch. This guest ranch had its origins in the 1900s, and like most ranches of that time, began as a cattle ranch. The original property was constructed of Mexican adobe brick made of mud and straw. A small part of this adobe has been left exposed and can be seen in the ranch dining room, the original building. But the story really begins in 1965 when Alan and Cynthia True from Denver, Colorado took the gamble of their lives and purchased the ranch, and with their sons, Russell and Michael, began a lasting tradition of offering their guests a genuine Western ranch experience and exceptional hospitality that continues today. The White Stallion Ranch has become an international destination for those seeking a genuine Western experience, and each week you'll see the country flags of their guests at the ranch flying in the Arizona breeze. Russell talks about the early history of the ranch and the no less interesting story of how the White Stallion Ranch got its name.
So our ranch is much like most dude ranches, or at least a lot of them. Started out as a cattle ranch. The original building, which is our main dining room now, and in fact, I guess interestingly, has just been renovated, taken back sort of in its looks to how it should have been originally. It's about 100 years old, and so the ranch started out as a cattle ranch, and between 1900 and 1940, that's all it was. In 1940, a guy named Max Zimmerman bought the ranch, and he had the largest liquor store in the world, at least self-proclaimed, and it was took up a whole city block in Chicago, and so he wanted to have a dude ranch in Arizona, you know, and back then, why not? There were over 100 in the Tucson area alone. It was at that era called the Dude Ranch capital of the world. He started the Dude Ranch in 1940. He called it MZ Bar Ranch, Max Zimmerman. Built the original 12 rooms, 1 through 12 that we have today. Added to our main lodge, that building that was the original. And the Dude Ranch business was born here at MZ Bar Ranch. So that went on until 1958. A couple of folks that were staying at a neighboring Dude Ranch were so enthralled with their experience that they decided to have their own. They came over, bought MZ Bar Ranch, still called that, and they didn't want to call it MZ Bar Ranch. It seemed a little generic to them, and so they were going to name the ranch after the famous horse story, The Black Stallion, the Walter Farley book. And so it was going to be the Black Stallion until the very end, and the story was, and I've had confirmation, Brewtown, the owner at the time, a Massachusetts, probably very, concerned about proper everything, and so all of a sudden somebody handed him a bolo, you know, these Western ties we have out here with the initials of his new ranch. And of course the initials are BS, and that didn't look too good, and even less acceptable in 1958, so he decided to change the name. And that's how we became White Stallion Ranch. No good reason other than bad initials from their original plan. They made it about 7 years, 58 to 65. As the story goes, my dad, true story, my dad came home. They were living in Denver, my mom and dad, and me. I was 5 at the time. And he came home to what he called the last blizzard he wanted to experience in Denver. And so he decided he was going to Tucson. In fact, he went back to the airport, got on a plane, came to Tucson, and that very night he started his journey. Started looking all around, and at that time there were about 30 ranches left in Tucson. So 100 and something had dwindled down to 30, still a lot. And 5 were for sale. One of them was White Stallion. Goes home, gets my mother. We stayed for a week as guests. And, you know, my mom was a little more rational. And at the end of the week, she said, wow, it was a great vacation. I wouldn't mind coming back. But we don't know anything about hospitality. We don't know anything, really. We're not cowboys. This is not a good fit, and it's not a good idea for us to take everything we have and wrap it up into this ranch and roll the dice. And so my dad ended up having to take her back through this long journey that he'd been on. And at the end of the week, I'm sure he'd been talking and talking and talking. And finally, as she was very proud to say, she said, okay, if I can look at those mountains every morning when I wake up, I'll let you throw our life away. And we're pretty sure she meant it, because she really didn't have a sense of humor. So we're pretty sure she was serious, and my dad was pretty sure she was serious. And so they built the house with glass, floor to ceiling, and my mother, who worked tirelessly and I mean, just endlessly. And so she sat at her desk, and she could look at those mountains that she called her mountains. They weren't hers at that time. And so she looked at them and loved every day of it. And ultimately, as they expanded 200 acres to 3,000, the mountains became part of the ranch. So that's how we got here, and you know, all these years later, my parents sadly are gone. Raised my 2 boys, both adults now, and so the 3rd generation is poised and ready to take over when they kick us out. So that's our story.
While keeping up the Old West tradition with many of the original buildings still in use, the True Brothers have added modern amenities such as a fitness center with sauna, a sunken lighted tennis court and lighted sports court, a large recreation room adjoining a 26-seat movie theater, and the telegraph station, where guests can check their email if they absolutely need to, as well as free Wi-Fi throughout the ranch. Kids of all ages will enjoy the petting zoo, the accommodations are traditional Southwestern with Mexican accents, and you'll feel right at home during your stay at the ranch. But you won't be spending much time indoors with all the activities and events the ranch staff has to offer. Your first stop might be the well-stocked gift shop, where you can pick out your new cowboy hat, gloves, and jeans, so you can blend right in with the rest of the cowboys and cowgirls. But hey, you gotta look good when riding your horse, right? Russell and Michael have tried to maintain the genuine Dude Ranch experience for their guests that their parents started over 50 years ago, providing the best in horses, hats, and hospitality.
You know, over the nearly 50 years our family's been here, we've always felt that our big goal was to listen to our guests and hear what they wanted. And as long as it was something we could do and it fit the core principles of dude ranching, then we tried our best to do it. But if it fit what we believe is what a dude ranch is all about, then we tried to put it together for them. So the ranch has evolved dramatically over time and stayed true to its beliefs. In fact, 2 years ago, it was interesting, a woman who had been here 45 years prior, my parents' first year, and had not been here for 45 years, so clearly not a young person at that point. And she gave us the ultimate compliment. At the end of her week stay, she said to me directly, she said, you know, everything is different and everything's the same. And I couldn't have scripted it better, and she said it from her heart, and it meant everything to us, because that's exactly what we wanted to hear. Because we felt, you know, everything is different. We renovated, changed, upgraded, but at the same time, we hoped everything was the same, because we had never wanted to leave that core of dude ranching, which is about, we believe, as the Dude Ranchers Association believes, horses, hats, hospitality, heritage, etc. And you know, it all does start around horses and hospitality.
Each day starts with the horses coming in from the corrals. The wranglers checking each horse, brushing and grooming them, and getting them saddled for the various trail rides going out. They'll match you with a horse that fits your riding abilities, so you'll thoroughly enjoy the hours of trail riding in some of the most spectacular country found anywhere in the Southwest. You'll ride through the same mountains and trails that many of your childhood cowboy heroes rode in all the famous Western films. And you'll get to experience some special trail rides that the early cowboys probably didn't, most notably the wine and cheese trail ride. And the beer and Cheetos ride, where you can relax in the desert and take in the spectacular surrounding scenery. Another great experience is the breakfast ride, where Michael and Russell will do the cooking for breakfast like no other. At the end of the day, as the sun slips below the mountains, you'll enjoy exceptional meals served from the grill, hot and hearty, where you can share your experiences with the other guests under a canopy of stars. The evenings are usually capped off with some special entertainment, which is sure to please and will put a smile on your face before you turn in for a great night's sleep.
Okay, you know what? That went really well. Let's do it again.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, after plenty of time in the saddle, guests get to show their riding and cattle working skills in the team penning competition. A timed event. Teams of 4 guests ride into the herd and cut out 3 cows, pushing them to a pen on the other side of the arena. Looks simple, but as you'll see, the cows sometimes have a different plan in mind. Now, sometimes it's hard to tell who's winning, the cowboys or the cows. But in any case, everyone enjoys this competition. The guests are also treated to rodeo event exhibitions, which open with the presentation of guest country flags. You'll enjoy bulldogging, as Michael True demonstrates how every second counts once the chute flies open and the steer is on the run. Kristen True will thrill spectators with the ever-popular sport of barrel racing, a timed pattern around 3 barrels where the speed and agility of the horse puts you in the winner's circle. And here's something we'll bet you have never seen before: draft horse barrel racing, where the big boys make the ground thunder as they run the barrels. You'll also get to see roping demonstrations on heading and heeling, skills used every day on cattle ranches, which have become major competitive rodeo sports.
You know, you can find a sauna or a hot tub in loads and loads of places, but you cannot find 3,000 acres of unspoiled, unchanged, iconic Sonoran Desert with the saguaros and the mountains, the rugged Tucson mountains, and the access to the national park and the ability to ride farther than we could get to and back from in a day. So unlimited riding in essence, and we're very lucky geographically because we can go slow, we can go fast, we can go all day, we can go have a wine and cheese party ride, well, not party, but wine and cheese ride tucked in around mountains all around us. So we have this diversity, but yet we've also learned people like their conveniences, and we as a culture have gotten kind of used to a nice pool and nice rooms, and you know, the iPod docking thing in your room to wake you up in the morning. And so we put some of these things in, and but still we believe every single decision we make and every addition or change that we have slowly evolved to over the time has stuck very closely to that core of what separates dude ranching. I'm a second generation guy. I grew up here. I've been here all my life, almost, all my memorable life at least. And so I've either observed it as a kid who was having more fun than any kid should be allowed to have, feeling like the luckiest kid in the world growing up here, to the person who transitioned into now operating it with my brother Michael. And so I've seen it change, dude ranching, and I've seen it stay the same. I believe that for nearly everyone, a dude ranch is the right vacation. And you're going to meet people from all over the world, shockingly out here in the Tucson desert, and you're going to meet people from all over the country with this same desire to do something different and, most importantly, do something real.
A Western dude ranch vacation is like no other you will ever experience. Russell talks about why people should look into a dude ranch vacation and why the contemporary family will find this kind of experience different, real, and life-changing, especially for children.
It really, I think, is the prescription, particularly today, for families where these kids just are attached to their own detriment to all this technology. And okay, maybe they'll still have access to it, but you know what? I watch these kids slowly set it down. And whether they know it or not, the lure of the outdoors, horses, and real experiences, you know what? They'll win over technology if given the opportunity. And dude ranches are one of those last places you can give yourself, and if you have a family, your family that opportunity. So I think there's a dude ranch out there for everybody. I think ours fits a pretty broad range of people. We have experience that suggests that our diversity of riding, facility, and activity and evening entertainment matches a lot of people.
If you're ready for a genuine Western dude ranch experience, if you're ready to ride the trails of the old Western cowboys, see incredible vistas and unspoiled natural beauty, if you're ready for your entire family to tap into your inner cowboy, then you should make your way to Tucson, Arizona and live out your dreams at the White Stallion Ranch. We'll meet you at the corrals with your horse.